On the topic of gold and its great bounce this week, I think it would be good to discuss the current. We've seen some even greater inflation statistics this week. What do you think it is that's driven that bounce? Do you think it could have just been the inflation story? Because we are seeing also a lot of strength in oil now.
Some people would say that gold had reached a level of strong support on the charts. So some people just see it as kind of a technical bounce. That said, it did occur immediately following these inflation reports. And so you could say there was a fundamental reason for it. To be honest, it may be a combination of several factors, and simply the fact that that gold looks relatively cheap. You mentioned crypto. It's debatable to what extent interest in crypto has placed headwinds on the gold price over the
Yep.
past year. There's some evidence that's the case. I don't think it's definitive. I think there's some evidence that's the case. If the shine does come off crypto here, and let's face it, crypto has not been trading well recently, then maybe, just maybe, that will lead to some general renewed investor interest in gold as the inflation hedge, the timeless inflation hedge, as it were, as opposed to just the one that happens to be cool and trendy at present. So maybe that's also a contributing factor. But again, I think it's very difficult to say that definitively. For what it's worth, by the metrics I follow, which are only medium term, not short term, high frequency trading metrics, but the ones that I follow, which have to do with long term real interest rates and the price of oil, energy, if you put them into a simple model, they're pointing to gold being north of 2000 now. That is just allowing gold to do what it normally does, would have it around $200 per ounce higher. And that's essentially 10% from where we currently are. And so that's a big deviation. So if you do want to get in on this and play it, I think now is a good time to not just own gold as insurance, but to also see it as a short-term speculative catch-up play to fair-ish value.